Picture this. You've waited months for your VA decision letter, only to open it and see those crushing words. Claim denied. Your heart sinks, you feel defeated, maybe even betrayed by the very system that's supposed to have your back. But here's what the VA doesn't want you to know. That denial letter isn't the end of your story. It's actually the beginning of your comeback. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to transform that crushing denial into the approval you rightfully deserve. I'm talking about the art of the rebuttal, a skill that separates veterans who give up from those who fight back and win. And trust me, after knowing thousands of veterans who overturned their denials, I can tell you with absolute certainty that most denials can be reversed, if you know what you're doing. Before we dive in, if you're a veteran who's been denied or stuck waiting months for results, check out the link in the description box or pinned within the comments. Rebuttal specializes in helping veterans get the medical evaluations needed to strengthen their VA claims. It's where I started in my own journey. And if you're serious about getting your claim approved, it's the best first step you can take. Now, before we dive deeper into this game-changing strategy, I need you to understand something crucial. The VA denial system isn't designed to be fair, it's designed to be efficient. They're processing millions of claims, and their first instinct is often to deny rather than dig deeper. But that efficiency becomes your opportunity when you know how to exploit their weaknesses. Let me start by revealing the three fundamental pillars that make any successful rebuttal unstoppable. First is evidence reconstruction. That's all about gathering the proof they missed or maybe just dismissed. Second is narrative control, telling your story in a way that, really forces them to see the connection between your service and your condition. And third is procedural mastery, understanding exactly which buttons to push in their system to get results. Most veterans make the fatal mistake of treating their rebuttal like an emotional plea. They write angry letters or, simply resubmit the same evidence that was already rejected. This approach fails 90% of the time because it doesn't address why you were denied in the first place. The VA operates on logic, evidence, and regulations, not emotions. Here's your first weapon in the rebuttal arsenal, the evidence gap analysis. Pull out your denial letter and read it like a detective, not like a victim. Every denial letter contains hidden gold if you know where to look. They're required to tell you exactly why they denied your claim. Pay attention to phrases like insufficient evidence, lack of nexus, or condition not related to military service. These aren't just bureaucratic brush-offs, they're your roadmap to approval. When they say insufficient evidence, they're essentially giving you a shopping list. They're telling you exactly what type of evidence would change their mind. Medical records showing onset during service, buddy statements from fellow service members, expert medical opinions, linking your condition to your military experience. The key is understanding that the burden of proof isn't just having evidence, it's having the right evidence presented in the right way. And if you're realizing right now that your claim might be missing key medical evidence, don't stress. There's help. Rebuttal connects veterans with licensed medical professionals who understand exactly what VA raters are looking for in their evaluations. You'll find the link in the description or pinned within the comments below. Now, let's talk about the nexus, the medical connection between your military service and your current condition. This is where most denials happen, and it's where most successful rebuttals win. The VA examiners often focus so narrowly on direct causation that they miss the bigger picture. Your job is to paint that picture for them in vivid detail. Here's a powerful technique I call the timeline reconstruction. What you want to do is create a detailed chronology starting from your pre-military health status, through your service experiences, and all the way to your current condition. Make sure to include every relevant detail. The specific incidents, the environment you served in, the gradual onset of symptoms, and how the condition has progressed over time. This timeline, honestly, becomes your narrative backbone. But, evidence alone isn't enough. You really need to understand the psychology of the person reviewing your claim. These are human beings, processing dozens of cases every single day. They're looking for clear, compelling reasons to approve claims, but at the same time, they're also covering themselves against potential criticism for approving questionable cases. So, your rebuttal needs to make their job easy by providing overwhelming evidence that approval is the only logical conclusion. One of the most overlooked strategies in my experience is the comparative analysis approach. What you want to do is research similar cases that were approved and identify the key factors that led to those approvals. Ask yourself, what evidence did those veterans provide that you might be missing? How did they frame their narrative? What medical terminology did they use? This kind of intelligence gathering can really reveal exactly what the VA considers sufficient proof for your specific type of claim. All right, let's address the elephant in the room: medical evidence. Many veterans assume they need expensive private medical examinations to win their rebuttal, but here's the thing. While independent medical opinions can certainly be powerful, they're not always necessary. Sometimes the evidence you need is already buried in your existing medical records. The key is knowing how to extract and present it effectively. The art of the rebuttal also involves strategic timing. Don't rush to file your rebuttal immediately after receiving your denial. Take some time to thoroughly analyze the decision, gather additional evidence, and craft a comprehensive response. However, don't wait too long either. You typically have 1 year from the denial date to file an appeal while preserving your original claim date for back pay purposes. Here's where procedural mastery becomes critical. The VA has multiple appeal paths, and choosing the wrong one can cost you years of additional waiting. The higher-level review option allows a senior reviewer to take a fresh look at your existing evidence. The supplemental claim route lets you submit new evidence, and the board appeal path takes your case to the Board of Veterans' Appeals for a hearing. Each has specific advantages depending on your situation. For most rebuttals, the supplemental claim route offers the best combination of speed and flexibility. It allows you to submit new evidence while maintaining your original effective date for benefits. This, my friends, is typically your best bet when you've identified specific evidence gaps that you can fill. Now, let me share the secret sauce that transforms good rebuttals into winning rebuttals: the preemptive strike strategy. Don't just address why you were denied, anticipate and counter the arguments they might use to deny you again. If they question the severity of your condition, provide evidence of significant functional impairment. If they doubted the service connection, present multiple forms of evidence supporting the link. Documentation quality can make or break your rebuttal. Present your evidence professionally with clear organization and logical flow. Use tabs, page numbers, and executive summaries to make the reviewer's job easier. Remember, you're not just providing evidence. You're building a case that's impossible to deny. The emotional component of your rebuttal matters more than you might think, but it really needs to be channeled correctly. Don't write angry screeds about unfair treatment. Instead, let your dedication to serving your country and your genuine need for benefits come through in your professional presentation. Show them you're a veteran who deserves their respect and careful consideration. Okay, so here's your action plan for crafting an unstoppable rebuttal. First, conduct your evidence gap analysis to identify exactly what the VA needs to see. Second, gather new evidence that directly addresses their stated concerns. Third, craft a clear narrative that connects your service to your current condition using medical and factual evidence. Fourth, choose the appropriate appeal route based on your specific situation. And finally, present everything professionally with clear organization and compelling logic. The veterans who succeed at the rebuttal game share one common trait: they just refuse to accept defeat. They understand that the VA system, despite its flaws, actually has mechanisms for correcting wrong decisions. They know that persistence, combined with the right strategy, almost always wins in the end. Your denial letter isn't your defeat, it's your intelligence report. It tells you exactly what you need to do to win. The question isn't whether you can overturn your denial, it's whether you're willing to put in the work to make it happen. Your benefits are waiting on the other side of a successful rebuttal, and now you have the roadmap to get there. If you're ready to finally take control of your VA claim and stop getting denied, click the Remedical link pinned within the comments or in the description box below. They'll walk you through how to get the proper medical evidence and documentation that can make or break your claim. Don't leave benefits on the table, take that next step today. Thank you for watching.